Hey, welcome everybody to the 40 Finance channel. Today I'm going to be continuing on with my Seeking Alpha review series, and I'm going to show you where to find analyst ratings for your favorite stocks within the Seeking Alpha platform. Now, Seeking Alpha is unique because they actually have 3 different types of ratings that you can research within their platform. They have their own Quant formula. They also have Seeking Alpha authors, which are people like you and I who actually write on the platform. Then you have the third type of rating, which is the one that I probably follow the most, and that is Wall Street Analysts. Now, before we jump on the website, I do want to call out that my affiliate link for Seeking Alpha is in the description of this video, and it offers you a nice discount for a 1-year premium subscription, which is the exact same level that you see on all of my videos. So if you're interested in learning more about Seeking Alpha and potentially supporting this channel, be sure to use that special discount link down below. Okay, for this video, we'll just use the Ford stock page in Seeking Alpha for our example. You have a couple different ways that you can get to all this information. Right off the bat, you get a rating summary if you are a premium subscriber, and you can see it's broken off into the 3 different types that I just talked about. And if we click on the Wall Street Analysts, and one of the cool features here, in my opinion, is just the different ways that they break out the information. So right at the top, Seeking Alpha assigns a score from the Wall Street Analyst ratings, a sort of consensus score on if the stock is buy, sell, hold. And they do this based on the mix you see here, which is analyst ratings over the last 90 days. So in Ford's case, they have 5 strong buys, 6 buys, 8 holds, 2 sells, 1 strong sell. If you add all those up together on their point system, it brings you to an average of 3.54, which is a buy rating under Seeking Alpha rules. Now, if we scroll down a little bit further, we start to get into the price targets. And you can see how they've broken out the graph here. You've got a high, average, and low. And next to that, you have a 12-month trend of how the average price target is moving. And then you scroll a little bit further, and you can actually look at it from a performance standpoint. So price target versus actual price. The orange line is the target, and the blue line is the actual price. This one's a 5-year chart, but you can break it out 6 months or 3 months and try to get a feel for how well analysts have actually projected Ford going forward. Then the last graph on here is ratings history in terms of those buy, sell, holds. So over the past, and let's bring this down a little bit, over the past 1 year, how strong has the Ford consensus been towards buy, hold, or sell? And if you hover over any date on this timeline, this little area shifts. And back in 3/30 of 2021, you had a hold rating. Then it gets above the 3.5 and carries on. And then recently, looks like post Thanksgiving or so, the rating did come down a little bit, but only to 3.5, which is still a buy. Now, if we extrapolate this a little bit, let's see if we can find a sell in here. Looks like the lowest that Ford has been, at least on this 3-year view, came about July 30th of 2020, where it was a 3.1 or a hold. All right, going a step further on the page, you kind of have this heat map, and this just shows you in color code how the analyst ratings are looking. So obviously, as your dark green area gets longer, you have more analysts coming in and saying strong buy. And then those that shrink, let's take a look at buy. If we go backwards, you had 4 buys in May of 2021. That dropped to 3. And then in March, you only had 2 coming in at buy. But you get a feel, too, just by using this 50% line on where the weight is going. So clearly in 2020, it was leaning more towards a hold. But if you bring it back this way, you can see that the buys are encroaching the 50% mark on the graph. So really cool way to look at the aggregate of buy, sell, hold ratings. And of course, just like the others, you can adjust it into shorter timelines if you're trying to focus on the short term or take a little slice of history and figure out where things land there. All right, so that's a look at the Wall Street Analyst ratings page. This is the one that I probably use the most, but you do have the Seeking Alpha authors ratings page, which takes all the contributing authors and puts together their data on what they're saying about Ford. And it's set up very similarly to the Wall Street world, where you kind of have the collection or the instances of buy, sell, hold off to the side. That forms together to give you sort of a score. And right now, Ford is also coming in as a buy at 3.5. But then on the Seeking Alpha authors, they have more information about these individuals. So you can go through and actually see where they last rated the stock. So in this case, Anton Wallman put in a hold on Feb 16. And you can go back in time. Not sure. Okay, so Anton has covered this stock in the past. And this is a 3-year chart, and you can see the different ratings that he or she put in for it. And here's an example of an author who has rated Ford, I guess, several times over the past couple years. You have a strong sell back in June of 2020. And it's interesting, right? Because you can tell that strong sell didn't work out so well over the long term. And then you have a hold here and a hold here. And you can actually refer back to the article that this opinion was shared. And that's kind of important, right? Because a lot of these analysts come in with different time horizons than you might be trading on yourself. So I might go on the record and say Google's a buy today, but my timeline is 2 years, right? And it seems like a no-brainer pick. However, you can have another person who says sell because they think that, the market as a whole goes down. So I think it's kind of cool that you can go back and read the opinion for when it was written back in the Seeking Alpha article archives. Okay, the final type of rating you'll find in Seeking Alpha is their Quant formula rating. And this is actually scored across a few different categories: valuation, growth, profitability, momentum, and earnings revisions. All those things tally up together to give you the same type of score that the analysts were using. 4.93, though, on the Ford side suggests a strong buy, which is a higher conviction play than what we saw out of our analysts. And if you're curious about the history of the Quant recommendations, looking back, it actually does technically change every day, and they keep a full chart of how each day changed and how the price and the Quant score changed. And then at the top of this area, you get a full view of what the Quant score was on a certain date. So if we want to, let's bring this out to like 6 months. There's no color change in there. Let's see what happens here. So if we just hover along, and we were on May 6th of 2021, you still had a strong buy score, and then something happened here. On 5/17, it switched to a hold, and you can see on the very bottom, the red block there, EPS revisions. It must be because there was a Wall Street analyst who changed their projection for Ford's earnings. And that's not to say that, everything the Quant rating says buy, you should buy, or any other analyst for that matter. To be honest with you, I just use them as a second opinion, right? I form my own opinion about a stock, and I do my own research metrics here in Seeking Alpha, but you can't help to be curious of what other people are saying about the stocks you're interested in. And I think one of the big bonuses with Seeking Alpha is you get a multitude of different opinion sources to look through. All right, one last feature on the rating side I want to show you. We get to it down here on upgrades and downgrades. And this is a pretty cool tool. So let's just do last 30 days. And these are all the analyst updates that have come through over the last 30 days. And you can go by the Quant formula, Seeking Alpha authors, and Wall Street analysts. So I'm going to stay here with Wall Street analysts. And so any analyst that has changed their opinion on a stock up or down over the past 30 days is going to be registered in here. And oftentimes what I do is sort by market cap so that I can see what's happening with the biggest names in the stock market. As it turns out, Ford happens to be up here, previous rating of hold, new rating of buy. And how about TJ Maxx? Previous rating of buy, new rating of strong buy. And in case you're curious, on the See Details link, it takes you back to that stock page, Wall Street Analyst page that I showed you earlier. This one just happens to be the TJX version. All right, investors, so that's a quick look at how to find analyst ratings across 3 different categories in Seeking Alpha. They make it super easy, and I think perhaps the best part is the ability to backtrack against historical recommendations to see, how has the stock performed after they've received a strong buy signal or strong sell signal. You can do all these things right in Seeking Alpha. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for Seeking Alpha yet, check out my affiliate link in the description. Help support the channel, save a ton of money on a 1-year premium subscription. And if you have any questions about the platform, use the comments field below. I'll definitely get back to you in the next day or 2. But overall, I hope you guys found some value in this. Please give a like, share with your friends, all the things. We will see you on the next video.